Well, hello there, Internet. You may know me as Cedric over on Warseer, and this is the first video in a series of videos where I will log the progress of this project that you see right in front of me. This is the box for the orc Gorkanaut for the Warhammer 40,000 game. And a lot of people have already made reviews of this. I'm not going to make a review. I'm not going to go through the sprue and everything. Other people have done that already. I'm going to show you, sort of video by video, how I convert this. Because my goal here is not to build this out of the box the way you see it on this image, but to heavily convert it. There's a number of things that I really like with this model. But there's also a few things that I don't like. What I like is there's really a lot of detail on this. I mean, first off, I really like this head. I like the design of sort of this blocky upper torso area, and the shoulders and the head. Sort of this bit part here looks really cool, in my opinion. Then there's ton of nice little detail all over this figure. What I don't like, there's two major things that I'm going to change with this model. First of all, like many other people have already noted, the joint for the foot and for the lower leg is at the bottom of the foot, and the foot is really high at the front and at the back, which sort of leaves this lower leg has virtually no range of motion backwards and forwards. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, this is science fiction, so maybe we should give it a little bit of leeway. Yeah, sure, but from a artistic point of view, this leg makes it pretty much impossible to pose this miniature in any way other than what you see on the box. And personally, I think this pose is it's dead. It doesn't portray motion. It doesn't portray sort of the orc aggressiveness. I'm running into battle to crush my enemies. It's more the image of I'm sitting here hoping that you're gonna run up to me so I can punch you in the face with a claw. It doesn't look sort of the aesthetics of this leg, in my opinion, ruins the entire model. Together with the other thing, the ginormous belly. If we look at the sort of anatomy of an orc, orcs have head that are sort of in line with their shoulders. They have wide shoulders and they have a narrow waist. This model is the head and the shoulders, they got that right, but the shoulders should, in my opinion, be sort of wider than the hips, the waist. So this giant belly, I don't like it. And it also sort of makes, for example, if we look at the model from this angle, we can't see anything on the other side of this belly. I mean, we can't see the leg, but we can see a bit of foot there, but it hides a lot. So if I make the upper torso, the shoulder area, wider, and the hips more narrow, and remove this giant belly, I think that's going to be a good start for improving the aesthetics of this model. It will allow me to make a much more dynamic pose, a much more scenic base. I think I'm gonna have sort of some kind of pile of something at the front, and one foot at the top of the pile, and one foot at the bottom of the pile, like my robot is striding over the battlefield, and it's unstoppable. That's kind of the impression I want to give, which is impossible the way this model looks right now. So those are the two main things I'm going to change. So this project is going to be sort of a heavy conversion kind of thing. I'm working a lot with plastic card and other materials to sort of redo the parts that I don't like. And we'll see as we move along. I may redo other things on this model. So let's sort of give a bit of update to where the project is at right now. Doesn't look like much on my table. I removed all the bits, cleaned all the mold lines. These are the pieces that I'm not working with currently. there's a few more pieces, small things that I haven't scraped mold lines on yet, but these are tiny details, so I'm gonna leave them for now, because what I'm working on right now is sort of the main shape of the miniature. So I put together, if we look at sort of the shoulder area, that's this part right here. I put it's what is it? It's one back piece and two side pieces. I put them together, and then I sawed it straight down the middle and added this bar just to increase the width of the shoulders as a first test, more or less, just so I have something to compare. I then put together the hip and belly area, and I sawed off the entire belly. So this is where the leg. Sorry for that flare there. I'm gonna see if I can move around a little bit. Sort of here's the hip joint, and that's this part here. And as you see, I've sawed off the entire belly area. I sort of sawed off the top because I want to make it more flat, to make it easier to put these things together eventually. So. Yeah, this is not what's gonna happen. I'm gonna move this up, build this up a bit, and we need the shoulders to be more wider than this. As I said, this was just the first trial run. Here's the head. I love this head. I think it's a really cool design. I haven't put on the lower jaw yet. That's gonna happen. But basically, we're gonna see some sort of a hip and lower torso area, something like this, and then we're gonna see the shoulders much wider. The shoulder pads, I'm gonna build bigger shoulder pads as well, and I'm gonna bigger exhaust pipes up the back. I think that's gonna be sort of a cool. The center part of this. I mean, this is the center part of the sort of image that we want to portray. This needs to look right, have the right dimensions. So in order to figure out the dimensions, sort of how high up do I want this head to be, how wide are the shoulders going to be, I can't figure that out unless I have something to compare them to. So I decided to work from the bottom up. So if this is the hip, I put these feet together real quick. It's just 2 pieces of plastic card and then plastic card all around, and smooth them out. I made these, this is a clay called something, can't remember the name right now. It self-hardens and it's easy to sand, and then I've added a bit of varnish on them to make them more smooth. So this is going to be some sort of a ball joint. So this is the foot, and then this is the lower part of the leg. As I said, I'm redoing the lower part of the leg, which this is the upper part. I'm keeping the upper part. This bit here is, I mean, it's gorgeous. It looks awesome. The lower part, let's see where we got that. This is the lower part of the leg. It should have been something like this. As you see, I sawed off most of the leg, and I just kept this, which is the knee joint. So let's see, it's supposed to be something like this. So here's the knee joint. Right now it's not possible because there's this little pin there that sticks up, and there's a bit of a hole there to fit it in. I'm going to remove that, of course, but for now it serves my purposes because it's easier to hold this with one hand when it doesn't turn. But this is sort of, I'm going to redo the lower part of the leg and then add it to a foot. And once I have sort of the feet and the leg and the hip, I can use sort of blue tack to put it all together and kind of make a rough pose to see if I like sort of what I'm seeing. And once this area is, I have these pieces put together, it's much easier to sort of figure out how the rest of the torso is going to look. So I'm starting at the bottom, working my way up, and I'm right now, of course, working on the hip and the lower part of the leg. So this is What you also can see is sort of this ball joint that I've blue tacked here. That's because I want to be able to sort of pose this leg a bit more dynamically. So I added this ball joint and these extra pieces of plastic card to make the hole smaller, this means that, I mean, the leg moves out a bit from the hip, making the entire hip area wider. I'm not sure if I like that. I haven't glued this on yet, so we'll see where this end up. I may add sort of extra hydraulics from the inside leg to the hip, or on the back or something, to sort of not have all this empty space here. We'll see. But for now, the upper leg bit, I mean, that's just glued together out of the box, finished. So we're working on the lower leg and the foot, and these ball joints, they're way too big. I'm gonna redo them. I'm working on that right now, because I want sort of hydraulics, maybe both on the back and on the front, and it's difficult to fit that with such a big ball joint. So I'm probably going to replace it with a slightly smaller one that I just have started working on. What else is there? Not really that much. Of course, I'm going to do a lot of detailing on these sort of pieces that I scratch build, but that is going to wait. The first most important thing is that I get the size and shapes correct. And if I sort of, once I've added start working on the head and the torso area, if I then realize that no, I want the feet to be slightly bigger or smaller, or the legs to be shorter or something, then I need to be able to go back and redo them without there being a ton of detail on them in the way. So I'm going to keep these really plain for now. But later on, of course, there's going to be a bunch of, I mean, I've started sort of on these tiny little, what do you call these, tiny pyramid things, just sort of to match what's already on the figure. So this is going to be a big project. I won't finish this in a week or two. It's going to take some time, and then I'm going to paint it, of course. So this is going to be a long project. But I hope you enjoy watching what I do, and if you have any comments, any suggestions, anything, I'm happy to read your comments below. Or hop onto Warseer. You'll find my thread there as well, with some photos of what I'm doing. So wish me luck, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, Internet.